Most people believe wealth begins with money. It doesn't. It begins the moment the world decides you're valuable. Cristiano Ronaldo would eventually earn more than $1 billion through football, sponsorships and business. But none of that started with contracts, trophies or endorsements. It started with a frightened boy searching for somewhere he could escape. Football has always produced extraordinary talent, players blessed with impossible abilities, players expected to become legends before they'd even become professionals. Many of them disappeared. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't, not because he wanted success more than everyone else, because he feared something else more: standing still. To understand why, you have to travel long before the Champions League finals, long before world record transfer fees, back to a small island where greatness wasn't supposed to happen. Madeira rises from the Atlantic like a mountain surrounded by an endless ocean. Visitors remember its beauty. The Aveiro family remembered something else: bills that needed paying, opportunities that rarely arrived, a future that often felt smaller than the island itself. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born there in 1985, the youngest of 4 children. His father worked as the kit man at a local football club while quietly battling alcoholism. His mother worked long days as a cook, stretching every pound she could simply to keep food on the table. Childhood has a habit of teaching us what normal feels like. For Cristiano, normal meant uncertainty. Some evenings followed the same familiar rhythm: raised voices, a slammed door, silence. He would grab a football and disappear outside until the shouting stopped. He wasn't running towards football, he was running away from everything else. That distinction matters, because obsession rarely begins with ambition. More often, it begins with escape. The streets of Madeira became his first academy. There were no sports scientists, no performance analysts, and no cameras documenting every touch. There was only a football that seemed glued to his feet, and a boy who never wanted the game to end. Neighbours noticed something unusual. Not the tricks, not the speed, the intensity. It wasn't enough to beat everyone else. He needed proof that he was becoming better than yesterday. His talent carried him from Madeira to Nacional, but every step forward revealed the same uncomfortable truth. Madeira was too small. If he wanted the future he imagined, he would have to leave home. At just 12 years old, Sporting CP offered him that opportunity. It sounded like a dream. It felt like heartbreak. Imagine boarding a plane knowing that when it lands, your parents won't be there. No childhood friends, no familiar streets. Just strangers waiting to decide whether you belong. Lisbon wasn't waiting to make life easier. It was waiting to test him. The academy was bigger, faster and far more demanding. So were the people inside it. His Madeiran accent became an easy target. Some teammates laughed. Others doubted he was good enough. Every evening ended with another phone call home. Every phone call ended with another goodbye. Many gifted young players leave home, but not all of them survive it. Homesickness quietly ends careers long before injuries ever do. Cristiano had a choice: go home, or become someone capable of staying. He chose the harder option. When training finished for everyone else, it had only just begun for him. One more sprint, one more cross, one more free kick, then another. He wasn't trying to impress the coaches anymore. He was building a system that would eventually become stronger than motivation itself. Because motivation disappears, systems don't. Then, just as everything seemed to be falling into place, his own body turned against him. Doctors discovered tachycardia, a heart condition that caused his heart to beat dangerously fast. One diagnosis, one operation, one terrifying question. Was the dream already over? For a boy who had already sacrificed everything, there could hardly have been a crueler moment. The surgery was successful. Within days, he was back on the training pitch. Not because anyone expected him to, because waiting felt worse than working. That moment revealed something football fans would spend the next 2 decades watching again and again. Whenever life tried to slow Cristiano Ronaldo down, his instinct was never to retreat. It was to move forward, faster. The football world still had no idea who he was. And that was about to change, and with it, his value. By 17, Sporting CP knew they had developed something rare. His pace was explosive, his footwork unpredictable, his confidence almost reckless. But beneath the tricks, something far more valuable was emerging. Every weakness became tomorrow's training session. Miss with the left foot. Practice until it becomes a strength. Lose possession. Build a stronger body. Someone exposed a flaw. They had unknowingly written Ronaldo's next training plan. Most athletes protect their confidence. Cristiano protected his improvement. Then came the summer of 2003, Sporting Lisbon against Manchester United. Officially, it was just another pre-season friendly. It wouldn't stay that way. For 90 minutes, one of the biggest clubs in the world chased an 18-year-old they simply couldn't stop. By the final whistle, Man United's own players reportedly urged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him immediately. Days later, United paid around £12.2 million, making Ronaldo one of the most expensive teenagers football had ever seen. The transfer changed more than his club. It changed his family's future. For the first time, football wasn't simply an escape, it was financial freedom. Yet Ronaldo barely paused to enjoy it. He wasn't asking how much he could earn, he was asking how much better he could become. Manchester United handed him the famous number 7 shirt, once worn by George Best, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona and David Beckham. It wasn't just a number, it was a promise. The Premier League was faster, stronger and far less forgiving. For the first time, working harder wasn't enough. He needed to evolve. Football stopped being about beating defenders. It became about mastering himself. How do I become stronger, more complete? Every answer led back to the training ground. As his performances improved, something else began growing alongside them. Around the mid-2000s, the initial CR7 started appearing away from the football pitch. What began as a simple fashion brand seemed little more than another celebrity endorsement. It wasn't. Without realising it, Ronaldo had begun building a second career. At first, football was the product. Every trophy strengthened his reputation. Then Cristiano Ronaldo became the product. CR7 would eventually monetize it. Every season made the name more valuable than the one before. Then, in 2009, the market delivered its verdict. Real Madrid agreed to pay around £80 million, the highest transfer fee football had ever seen. People called it a record. It was something much more important. It was the world's valuation of Cristiano Ronaldo. A frightened boy who had left Madeira with almost nothing had become one of the most valuable athletes on earth. His salary climbed into the tens of millions each year. He became one of football's highest paid players. But something strange was happening. Salary was slowly becoming the least interesting part of the story. It was no longer the most important source of his wealth. Every goal increased his reputation. Every trophy strengthened his leverage. The letters CR7 slowly escaped the football pitch. The small fashion brand kept evolving. Clothing expanded into fragrances. Fragrances were followed by hotels. Hotels led to fitness clubs. Licensing partnerships spread the brand around the world. Each new business was built on the same foundation. Trust earned through years of relentless excellence. Companies weren't paying Ronaldo simply because he could score goals. They were investing in one of the most recognisable and admired names on earth. That changed everything. Nike understood it. Its lifetime partnership wasn't paying for 90 minutes on a football pitch. It was investing in decades of reputation. Football had become the engine. CR7 became the machine. Income became ownership. Ownership created lasting wealth. By the later years of his career, Ronaldo had earned well over $1 billion through football, sponsorships, and business. The businesses carrying his name could keep growing whether he scored another goal or not. Not because football pays $1 billion. It doesn't. Football had created the reputation. Reputation created leverage. Leverage created ownership. And ownership created lasting wealth. Then came another decision that surprised almost everyone. He left Real Madrid for Juventus. Many believed he was protecting his legacy. He was risking it. Once again, he chose uncertainty over comfort, because comfort had always been the opponent he feared most. Not defenders, not critics, not failure, but complacency. Think back to the boy standing outside his family home in Madeira, a football resting at his feet while he waited for the shouting inside to stop. He wasn't dreaming about world record transfers, billion-dollar earnings, hotels or global brands. He was searching for certainty. And football gave him that. Then it gave him something even more valuable, a way to become someone new. Every training session became a promise. Every setback became an invitation. Every success became another starting line. Most people spend their lives chasing money. Cristiano Ronaldo spent his chasing value. Money simply followed. Success made him famous. Value made him wealthy. Obsession made him unforgettable. The greatest opponent Cristiano Ronaldo ever faced wasn't Lionel Messi. It wasn't age, it wasn't pressure. It was the version of himself that believed yesterday was enough. And every morning, he beat him again. And perhaps that's what greatness really looks like.